Hello, welcome to Pure Soul Alchemy with Gabriella. I'm Gabriella Espinosa, and I'll be taking us through a shamanic soul realignment process for the next 30 minutes. So find a nice comfortable place where you can lay down, relax, and receive this session. Pure Soul Alchemy is a transmission of channeled shamanic healing technologies which restructure your creator source grid. Transformative operations and procedures are enacted for you while you comfortably relax. Through my perception and vocalization of the inner energetic grid, we are opened in ways which allow these technologies to come into our physical reality and enact change on our behalf. There will be quite a few moments of silence as I am delivering these processes. Simply rest into the silence during these times and receive the healing energies. Don't focus too much on what is being said. Relax and let the transmissions come through and work on you. It's quite helpful to go back and listen again repeatedly to deepen the effects of the session and to take the healing further. Today's show is a shamanic healing session to support you as a parent and to support you as one who was parented. Being a parent is a special gift, but it sure isn't easy. You are challenged to put your child's needs first and yet at the same time maintain a healthy balance in your life. In this session, we will bring healing support to a few of the challenges parents face on a daily basis. Before listening to the session, be sure to ponder the ways in which you struggle as a parent. If you aren't a parent, think about the ways in which you struggle with being a good parent to yourself. Doing this will facilitate their being addressed in the session. Allow yourself to notice any feelings or sensations that arise during our session. Allow your mind to watch, witness, and notice where you have intense internal responses. And give your higher self and spirit full permission to transform your inner planes of consciousness to what is real, true, beautiful, and best for your well-being. So now relax and settle into your stillness. Fall into your natural deep breathing rhythm. Bring into your awareness, bring into your heart, and bring into your pelvic bowl your joy to connect with your higher self, authentic parental role model, and all that is good for you and supportive to yourself as a parent. Letting go of old, detrimental, unsupportive habits, patterns, connections that impede your joy and fulfillment as a parent. Rest now in the knowing that you are held by spirit at all times and that your orientation to life is undergoing a vastly improved change. Let that take hold in your sight, in your heart, and in your life as we go through our session. Great, so we're now connecting with our divine physical and non-physical intelligence to align completely with our own core essence, aligning with the fundamental and essential aspects of ourselves, aligning with the earth, the sun, the moon, with our own Mother, Father, God self, with our own inherent creator self, and a right placement in the universe. The purest healing source within us is our own deepest aspect. We agree to serve as our own healing agent and to serve from and as our own ultimate inner counsel, the all that I am. We now invoke, welcome, and receive our beloved Mother and Father God to exact their loving divine blessed grace directly into our healing proceedings today. Great. So we're going to begin with healing point number 2, healing unconscious ancestral fear of breaking from unhealthy genetic parenting traditions. So this ancestral fear, yes, it resides within us or has been residing within us, but it also is in the lineage. And so we're offering this healing to our ancestors who are no longer in the physical plane, and also to those who are in the physical plane. Healing the sense of feeling alone and ungrounded without these old programs, traditions, paradigms, manifests, constructs. Creating an opening to new, warm, loving ways of connection within and in raising our kids. So creating this opening and nurturing and fostering this opening. Which translates to being in the moment, being in the joy, being in the love with our kids. Right, so let's go ahead and do a heart clearing here. Great, and let's go ahead and clear terror, unconscious terror of embarking on our own opening to new, fluid, loving, flexible ways of parenting, of being in the moment with ourselves and our children. And we're still deconstructing some underlying terror of being without these ancestral manifests. Healing point number 1, healing our earlier parent-child patterns, rhythms, trainings, relationships that we experienced and took on from our own parents. Healing our early parent-child hologram entrainments, particularly those that are distorted, dysfunctional, unhealthy, that are unloving. Releasing subtle level programming of chaos. Releasing subtle level programmings of over-rigidity, of inflexibility, releasing subtle level programming of irritability, resentment, hostility, agitation, releasing subtle level programming of loss of our connection with our true joy, our inspired spirit, loss of inspiration, motivation, mobilization towards constantly creating a new, ever-present hold with divine. Healing overwhelm from our parents, healing the distortions of time. Great, so healing overwhelm and its placement in our timeline. And let's also clear overwhelm, going back in time for our parents and for ourselves as children, as the recipients of our parents' overwhelm and intense sublimated emotions. Healing hostility, agitation, sublimated, detrimental emotions, healing deeper level of the emotional landscape below consciousness back in time for our parents and for ourselves as their children. And at the same time, doing a clearing of overwhelm for ourselves as parents. Reclaiming our daily ritual into the present moment. Resetting to a new, enhanced daily norm. Great. Let's go ahead and also begin clearing the feeling, the parental feeling of feeling unappreciated, undervalued, invisible. Healing chronic worry constructs. And we're going to do a clearing between parent and child, between ourselves and our children, and also between our parents and ourselves as a child. Great. Clearing individualistic view of life, clearing complications, fear, worry, and constant strain, and also draining emotions. Reformatting into essential gratitude, reclaiming essential, uninhibited, loving, compassionate, genetic coding. Interdependence, revaluing ourselves. And let's go ahead and do a solar plexus cleansing. Great. Cleansing toxic sludge, buildup, material and feelings that we've set aside in the moment in order to be good parents. Right, so we're going to do an below consciousness cleansing. Right, and we're also going to input divine healing force to assist this process of cleaning old residues, emotions, inner conflicts that we've had to sublimate in order to be with our kids in the moment. Great. Creating an opening to new, warming, loving ways of connection within and in raising our kids. Great. Let's go ahead and clear fear of being true, honest, transparent. Great. Healing point number 3, healing parental guilt. Healing parental guilt. Let's go ahead and do a healing for holding ourselves to unrealistic, perfectionistic standards as parents and constantly falling short of those constructs. And let's clear the sense of failure or the sense that we are messing up our kids. Great. Clearing sense of failure as a parent, for having human moments, for having human breakdowns, breakthroughs. Great. Let's clear stifling emotional rigidity. And let's go ahead and go back and do some further clearing of the belief, the mistaken notions that we are messing up our kids. Healing deep fears that we are ruining them, ruining their lives. Releasing that thought form cycle, and the terror that goes with it. Right, recalibrating in our lives to allow for, accept, have compassion for our human error. There's a natural part of existence. Great. Clearing for volatility, eruption, explosion in the parent-child dynamic. And doing a massive grand scale heart solar plexus clearing, emotional recalibration, resubstantiating ourselves as parents, clearing invalidation and beliefs that we are somehow inadequate. Right? Commending ourselves for answering the call to become a parent. Great. And we're going to begin healing bleak outlook from early childhood. Healing unconscious psychology, drama from our early childhood. As much as we're able to clear at this time, and more will be healed and addressed as you replay the recording. Infusing divine healing force into our early childhood trigger moments that naturally occurs as our children enter the same milestones where we experienced pain and trauma. Infusing divine healing force into our early childhood trigger moments. These naturally occur as our own children enter the same milestones where we experienced pain and trauma. So we're applying divine healing force to these areas. Great, and let's do a heart cleansing there. Great, let's go ahead and do a removal of emotional bonding based on terror, trapped emotions, and disregard for self. Expanding contemplations of higher life prioritization, composure reclamation, and let's clear retroactively anger, and let's clear post-traumatic stress for ourselves, for our parents, and for our children. Healing, point number 5, healing parental isolation. Healing from programs and patterns of shutdown and incapacitation of our ability to seek out and receive support. Healing paralysis, immobilization, indecisiveness, confusion in relation to aligning with appropriate support for ourselves as a parent. Connecting to the wider web of support. Great. We're still clearing confusion. Confusion around that stems from isolation. I'm just going to sit with that for a little longer. Great. Opening and refining into the authentic self, the authentic parental role model. And healing point number 4. So we're going to begin infusing positive parenting role models for healthy parent-child interaction. Great. So we're infusing this positive parental role model, the frequency of that, and at the same time we're going to sit with our existing parental role model within. This is how we parent ourselves and this is how we parent our children. As it is deconstructing, reorienting, restructuring, reformatting to fit healthy parent-child interaction parameters. Great. Infusing loving presence and infusing heart holding from the divine. Reformatting our parental foundations to include compassion, flexibility, levity, appreciation for ourselves, appreciation for our children. Reformatting our parental foundations to include the vital connection and drawing from our inherent wisdom, our loving wisdom that is in connection, collaboration with the divine. Reformatting that into our essential grid. So we're now bringing our session to a close. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Pure Soul Alchemy with Gabriella. It is highly recommended that you listen to this session repeatedly. This will deepen the effects of the session and take your healing further with each replay. To schedule an individual session and for more info, visit www.puresoulalchemy.com. This is Gabriella Espinosa. Have a wonderful day.